Hello, everybody, and welcome to the All Aboard Podcast. I'm your host, Trey, and I'm joined with my beautiful co host, Titus.
Good morning, Vietnam.
and for another week, we're joined with the ever handsome, our beautiful audio editor, Logan.
Hey, baby.
You got a sick quarantine beard, by the way.
Ooh,
Oh, it's looking sexy.
Aren't we all?
for the second time ever, the even more beautiful and even
Drum roll,
more
please.
handsome and 4'5" Kylen.
What's up? Trey, you're
That's
even more beautiful
disappointing.
than me, though, so that's respects.
Thank you all for being here with me again. Thank you, Titus, for co-hosting. Thank you, Logan, for audio editing, and thank you, Kylen, for looking so damn great.
We're just
You're
being here.
And welcome to what is this, week 5? Yeah, this is
Episode 5. It's episode
Damn,
5.
what?
It's the anniversary episode.
We're moving right along, boys.
We
Damn.
really are. And we originally we're gonna have Asa on tonight, but then Kylen joined the call, and he's been gone to camp for a couple weeks, and so he joined the call. I'm like, Kylen hasn't been here in a while. Let's bring him in, and here we are.
Kylen,
Yeah.
how was Camp Laszlo?
Hey.
How is
Oh,
Brickleberry?
it was shorter than usual because of Corona, but it was really.
How long are you normally there? Because you were there for like 2 weeks. Dude.
Yeah.
No, I was there. I was at mini camps, not just one camp.
Okay. So you were stacking
See.
up.
My first camp, I went to paintball action camp, Royal Ranger camp,
Mhm.
and then after that, I went to youth camp. So,
Yeah.
that's why I was all gone for 2
Mhm.
weeks.
Solid.
I've never been to a youth camp. I almost did whenever I was little, but then my mom guilt tripped me out of it because I was a sheltered child, and so the elementary school that I went to gave all the kids these flyers for this camp that it was either the school or the Boy Scouts were doing. I wasn't in Boy Scouts yet, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I was actually going to invite you to church camp this year.
Oh, were you? Oh, you
Yeah.
did though. You did.
Yeah, I did. I asked you on the bus. And you're like,
Yeah.
I'll think about it. And I went up to my youth pastor. I was like, hey, I'm a buddy of me and Benny boys. He's thinking about coming. So can I get an extra thing? And you never signed up. I never even gave it to you, so that's partially my fault. But yeah, you disappointed my youth group immensely.
Dude, my first year, my mom just walked up to me and said, "Hey, you're going to camp this year." And I was like, "That sounds fucking awesome. What is it?"
Yeah. And then you
Like-
get there and you're like, this isn't camping. You're like, I've got a bunk bed and there's 30 other people in here.
Yeah, I was ready for war, but then we went out there. This, like church camp, so
Yeah.
like there was war, but a different kind. It involved silly string.
I thought you were going to make like a spiritual battle joke. I thought you were like, there's a war over this nation's youth.
Dude, I was 8. I could have cared less.
Mm-hmm.
I was in it for the paintball wars, the all the other things.
That's honestly fair.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh shit. Kylen just got kicked.
my Kylen.
He just left. How weird. Oh, there he is. He's back. Welcome back, Kylen. He left
Welcome
the call
back
and
to
then
the All
joined right
Aboard
back.
podcast.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, frick you too, dude. Screw you, man. We try and make a comforting environment for you. We invite you on here, we're talking to you, and you just leave. Son of a... You motherfucker.
Damn.
But they gave us the flyers, and it looked like a cool flyer. And I showed it to my mom, and I was like, "Hey, mom, can I go to this thing?" She sat down on the couch. We sat down together. She read it. She had this sad look on her face because I was a sheltered child. Never really had any friends at that time, just because she was like, "You don't need to go hang out with people. They're all mean anyways." I was like, "Okay, mom, I trust you." So she was looking at it, and then she looked at me with like the saddest, most serious eyes. She's like, "You know, going on this, you'll be away from your mom for a good month." And I was like, I don't want to do that. And I never went.
Damn.
My mom hard locked me out of anything just by the guilt tripping alone.
Dang.
Hmm.
Sounds like you took a fat L.
I did.
Freaking nerd.
Because everybody said it was a really fun time, and I was like, "Dang it, mom." But yeah, a lot of my family has been like that, to where like they'll end up guilt tripping to get stuff out of you, and it's a real time, it's a real event.
Yeah.
But that reminds me of something that I want to ask you all about bad experiences with family or siblings, just generally shitty things that's been that ever happened. Logan, I heard the little laugh. I bet you have a lot with Drew, don't you?
Yeah, me and Drew we were a mess, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
In my early days, I was talking to Asa once, and he gave me a very good description that I shall use here. But we were like Megatron and Starscream. We were good buddies trying to take over the world together until Starscream would stab me in the back, and it would turn into just a monstrous nightmare of who can piss harder.
Yeah.
Oh my god. You guys are the founding fathers.
Yes. But anywho, so yeah, like we did all sorts of terrible shit. Like I forgot what the hell Drew had done, but he was being an asshole to me and had even somehow gotten my entire youth group at our church to dislike me. Like he was just being a major dick to me, and one day I was just fed up with it. So we lived at this house. We had carpet, He was sitting there in a chair.
Yeah.
Just like, a normal basic bitch chair, 4 legs.
Chair.
Just a chair. But I was pissed. I was done with the kid. I was done. So I walked over, grabbed his hair, and pulled it down as hard as I could, slamming him onto the ground in the chair. I then proceeded to walk around, stomp on his chest, and as he's coughing, because I just stomped on his fucking chest, belly area, I proceeded to grab him by the collar, pick him up, and then slam him back down on the ground and walked away. Like,
well, how old were you during this?
8 and 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking like 2 or 3 years ago, like.
Yeah, I was thinking like 8th grade, dude.
No, trust me.
Yeesh.
Yeah, well, me and Drew were fucking violent. Like, yeah. And
yeah.
I about strangled him once too. I forgot exactly why, but I was just pissed with him, and so I started choking him, and then yeah, that was bad. My poppy was called. I was taken to a police station. It's like, hey, if you continue down this path, buddy, you're gonna end up in here showing some inmates.
Yeah.
And I've never done that since. I don't actually remember that police station trip. I've been told all about it, but I do not, for my life, remember any of it.
Bro.
I remember driving there, and I remember driving away.
What if it wasn't real and they just told you that?
That is a possibility, honestly.
Because those cops sound kind of useful.
Yeah. Well, my poppy has like friends in there that he talks to often. Like I've met him before. Like I know he's got police buddies, and they're all cool.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like me and Drew used to be terrible shits. Like,
dude, me and Asa were the opposite.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like,
were we all angels to each other?
First talking to you, like you guys just seemed to be pretty close and chill, whereas me and Drew were close, but in a different way. Ours was found through blood and war. And then just an eventual, if we work together, we could probably take over the universe. And so we stopped being Starscream.
See, me and Asa, we were like, let's see. I like this thing, and you like that thing. Let's talk about this thing. That's all we did. We've been in, I think, one like actual fist fight, and he stomped the floor with me. I got him once in the nose, and he pushed me out and kicked the shit out of me.
You see, my little brother, he even comes into my room or comes even tries to talk to me. I tell him to go away. I don't know why. I just don't like him.
Well, It's the younger kid thing. Having younger siblings is not an easy bout.
Yeah, and he's like what, 12?
Especially if he has ADHD and doesn't
Hey.
want to
Yeah,
stop
Titus.
bothering you. Oh, hi,
You know-
Titus. How you doing?
I have younger siblings. It's a pretty far age range, around, I'm 55 now, but back whenever we were little kiddos, it was a vast contrast, and they would always be like, "Why don't you ever play with us? Why don't you ever like hang out with us?" And it's such a large difference in just trying to hang out with your siblings. It's such a drastic thing. Like the Titus, your youngest sibling is what, like only 5 years behind you, right? Or not?
We're 4 years apart.
Yeah, not even 5. Mine is like 8 years, and that's my oldest sibling behind me. It's a real challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm lucky.
But-
I'm like 12 years ahead of my sister, so it works.
yeah. But Logan, there's another story that I was wondering about. Your reflex spot on your back.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have this problem with my back. When things get behind me and start messing with my back, my upper spine to be precise, like neck type area, mostly my neck, like upper back. Like when people freaking walk up and mess with me in that area, my entire back tenses and I want to kill you. I'm like more deadly from behind is the joke, because I'll turn around and kill you if you mess with my back. At that point, it's like an instant engage for my adrenaline. And the way this started was Drew.
Wait, hold on. I have a guess. Andrew.
Yes, exactly. So he would run up, and like that pressure point, like that on your back, that's like not. It's like right at the beginning of your neck type area, but still on the spinal cord. Of your back, like you know what I'm talking about. He used to run up and hit the pressure point in there really fucking hard, like run up. Like the Frogger thing. You make a fist and you kind of stick your middle finger up just a tad, so that way the knuckle's a little higher.
Yeah.
He'd run up and bash the shit out of that area on my neck.
Wow.
And so eventually this just led to me, like, when something got behind me, I tensed the fuck out and got ready to kill it. So, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Speaking of, like, just horrid siblings, my siblings, they're, many years younger. And back in the olden days of, childhood, I would have to sometimes go with them whenever they're doing like parent-teacher conferences.
Right.
And it was something, because you would just be in there and you'd feel so awkward because you're so large compared to everything else in there. And sometimes they had like really bad teachers, and a lot of and just talking to the teachers, they're just some of the worst people sometimes. And you start thinking about all the teachers that you had in the past. Like I had a teacher that I burped one time, and I was like a little kid, right? I burped one, didn't say excuse me, and she yelled at me for a good 5 minutes about not saying excuse me.
Hey, brother.
And it was scary because she was this old lady, and it was a whole event.
Are you talking about Miss Lee?
No. Now we have to bleep her name, Kylen.
Nice one, Kylen.
God.
Kylen.
Bro.
God damn it.
Bro.
Kylen. Why do we even bring you here?
No, it's Miss Lee.
I get the joke.
Anyway.
Okay.
But another thing that I've never really heard you all talk about before, in or outside the podcast, is your worst teacher experiences.
I've
Do
got
you all
one.
have any?
I have one.
Go ahead, Titus.
So it's not like super bad, but Trey, you'll know who this is. But our old Votech teacher was not great with ADHD kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because we'd be like, hey, Mr. Wiggins, I'm having trouble focusing right now. Can I maybe not do this project right now? He'd be like, just focus on your work and it'll get done. And we're like, well, you see, the problem is I can't focus on the work. He's like, just do your project, man. It'll get done that way. And I'm like, well, you see, and he's like, just do the work, man. Like he was he was a great teacher with the things that he taught. Not in much else though. Like if I needed Photoshop to do something very specific, I'd be like, hey, sir, how do I do this? He'd be like, oh, well, you hold down Control, you tap your nose twice, and you spin around.
Yeah.
And like I'm like, oh, I do that. And I'm like, oh, dude, I've made a layer mask.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he was great with what he knew. But we had my first year we had 2 kids with ADHD, and my second year we had 2 kids with ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, hi, and he's like, do your work.
It's weird because he left in the middle of the year that I was there, and the new teacher that came in was a lot softer, a lot less strict, but he had the same sort of jive to where if you were a good kid that did your work really well, he would treat you like a saint. But if you were like a kid that didn't do so well or just didn't do your work, he wouldn't talk to you at all. Like you'd get no attention from him. Like
honestly, I think I was perfectly in the middle. Because I did my projects and I did them well, but also I had a bad case of senioritis. Like I was like, I'm gonna spend all day on GarageBand today. That's cool, right? And they'd be like, I can't really stop you. But it's like when I did my projects, I did them. Trey, why are you muted?
But that guy was a real mess sometimes.
I'll be honest, I like the new guy better.
Yeah. And everybody's like, oh yeah, screw this guy, but honestly, he's way nicer than the last guy. And he has a lot more to teach you. Like the old dude, he'd be like, oh yeah, go do your work. It's like on the website. Would be like, cool. This new guy, like he would be he would show you like a bunch of stuff, you know, like every day you'd start it with like a new thing, and we would all sit around and we'd all talk about it. Not a lot of people talked, but the people who did actually were interested, and that was a cool thing to see.
Yeah, I genuinely like that. I wish I had that for my first year.
Yeah, and now you don't get it anymore.
Yeah, I'm very jealous of you. I think he's going to be a great fit for the class, and I think everyone was a little bit too hard on him when he first came in. Yeah, he might be a White Sox fan, but I approve.
You and your fucking baseball.
Also, I want to point out, so there were 4 people in that class that liked baseball. Me and one of the other girls, we liked the Cubs. There's another girl who liked the Cardinals, and the teacher liked the White Sox.
Yeah.
We all hated each other's teams.
That's pretty solid.
You know, I'm not a big baseball guy, but I'm pretty big fan of football and basketball. You know?
Oh my god, dude, you're upset.
I played volleyball.
I played basketball and football in high school. Not for any teams, but I played in like PE and weightlifting and whatnot.
Play blacktop. My name's Trey. I got that 3-point game. I have to have a basketball game today. I got that 3-point game. That's you.
Nice.
But a lot of time I played a small forward in those games. And in football I played a wide receiver. Because I wasn't big enough to be a linebacker, but I was certainly like wide enough, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, I put the wide and wide receiver.
Titus, you play basketball, don't you?
Yeah, I play
What,
post.
what position do you play?
I love playing the post. I feel like I'm better down there. But for this next season, my coach has me out in wing.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's because we have 2 new guys who are taller than me
Yeah.
and wider than me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's literally the only reason they're down there instead of me. But the problem is that they can't maneuver. I can maneuver, and I don't know why they're taking me out of the post. I think it's dumb.
Yeah.
Because I out rebound them. When I'm down there, I outscore them.
Yeah.
I think it's dumb that they're pulling me out, but I'm not going to argue with the coach over it. He wants to have me on the wing. I'll shoot jump shots.
I played basketball for 1 year. I was in the lane, I believe. I sat on the 3-point line. That was my area.
Yeah.
It's my home.
Dude,
But
I don't want to say his name, but you know who I'm talking about. We brought last time I saw him, me and C brought up the that you had more points than him. He's like, well, I played for longer. He's like, we're talking about that season, man. He's like, even then, he had more threes than you in that season and in this season.
yeah, I was like, what was it? I was like 3rd or 4th highest score on our team, and I had the least amount of playtime.
Wow.
Yeah. As weird as you, in all fairness, I think you were the smallest on the team.
I was the 2nd smallest. There was one guy
I forgot about him.
smaller than me. That guy was a twig. But yeah, no, it was ridiculous. I sat on the 3-point line, and I shot threes all day, and I made 4 out of 5, something like that. I barely missed.
Well, I guess I beat your score
good
because I was the smallest kid in school.
Get shit on.
Oh, Kylen, that was really funny.
Kylen is he short? I think Kylen is shorter than Drew now.
He is. Yeah. I had barely any playtime that season because the coach's son did not like me. That's the guy Titus was talking about just a second ago. And so, like, I'd be on the court, and the coach's son would be like, "Get this shithead off," and his dad would be like, "Okay," because it wasn't his bio father. So the dad was trying to seem cool. So he'd pull me off.
Kylen, you're like 5'7", right? 5'6", 5'7".
Bro, I'm not that tall.
5'5".
He's like 5'5".
5'4", 5'5", yeah.
I was thinking you did that for the doubt.
Yeah.
Kylen, you're 5'5" because you know that coworker of mine that you met that you're taller than? He's 5'4".
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think Drew's taller than you then, because he's like 5'6" or 5'7" now. He's been growing.
Is Asa the tallest out of all of us?
No.
Who's
Matthias?
Is it Matthias?
Matthias is 6'8".
Oh yeah.
Don't ask him if he plays basketball.
I'm not.
No, he gets upset.
Who doesn't?
I told him that when people ask him how the weather is, he should just spit on them and be like, "It's raining."
Yes. Yeah.
How tall are you, Titus? You're what, 6'1"?
I'm 6'1" or 6. I'm either 6'5" or 6'1". Last time I got measured at the doctor, I was 6 foot, but I've gotten a little bit taller since then, I think. So I just say that I'm 6'1".
Yeah.
At my graduation, one of the moms was like, "How tall are all the guys?" I was like, 6'1". She's like, "You're 6'1"? And I was like, "Why do you sound so confused?" "Yeah, I'm 6'1". I was like, "I can be 6'2" if you want me to."
Yeah.
I was like, "Who's asking?"
Yeah.
I'm sitting at a solid like 5'10", so most of my family is short, so I thought I was gonna be short. I was sweating so hard.
You were short for a long time.
I was like,
It was
I was
great.
convinced I was gonna be short, and then like for a little bit, I could almost look Titus in the eyes. Then he shot back up.
And then I went.
But but now I'm a lot muscular, so it's not like I'm just a short, scrawny kid. I may be shorter than most of the other guys, but at the same time, I'm not that short. Well, compared to me, you're scrawny, Titus. I'm good and muscular.
So am I. Dog.
Logan, you got like an inch or two on me, I'm pretty sure, because I'm 5'9", 5'10". So you're like around like 5'11", I'm pretty sure. You all can't see it right now, but Titus and Logan have turned on their face cams and they're flexing at each other in the camera.
It's about to turn into a dick measuring contest.
Dude, it really is. I was about to be like, pull up, bro. Just like, pull down.
Anyways.
But yeah, the basketball fun, baseball suck, and football's
Hey, baseball is great, dude. All right, I'm gonna go on a real quick tangent, real quick about Friday night's game.
Yeah, go ahead, Titus.
The Chicago Cubs pulled out a win against one of our district rivals, the Brewers. It was our opening day win. It was very good. It was 3-1. Not 3-1. It was What was it was 3-1 or 3-0, I think.
Yeah.
It was 3-0. Our starting pitcher Kyle Hendricks, he threw a shutout game.
Yeah.
Which means the other team did not score, and he did a complete game too.
Mm-hmm.
So he pitched all 9 innings. It was 105 pitches, and he didn't throw a ball over 90 miles an hour.
Wow.
And then the next day, our bullpen shat the bed. Dude, we went through I'm not even kidding. The manager Ross, he put out we went through 5 different bullpen pitchers.
Wow.
It was so bad.
Mm-hmm. I've never really been big into baseball. I played it for a little bit.
It's fun to actually play with some people, but it's not a sport I enjoy watching.
Yeah.
It's fun to play, and it's fun to see people's reactions when they learn I can pitch, such as Titus's, who straight up nutted.
Dude, I did. It drizzled down my leg. I was like, let me get my bat.
I'm gonna be.
Dude, I had a literal field day.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you boys. I don't really like to watch men knock balls around, but I do enjoy knocking balls around myself.
Dude, you literally love basketball. You're literally fondling a ball the entire time.
Trey, I feel the same way.
Yeah, Kylen, you feel the same way, babe?
Yes, I don't like watching people smack balls around. I like doing it myself.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kylen likes to be in the heavy action.
It's more enjoyable to get in on the action yourself. Get in the nitty gritty.
Yeah, I smacked T-balls. I smacked balls that came from the machine. I also smacked balls that came from the coaches.
Mm.
Did you not make it to a hand pitch?
No.
You didn't mention Trey's balls on that list.
You bitch.
I've never smacked the coach's balls, but I have smacked other players' balls.
How far did you guys make it in Little League?
Played upward basketball. Does that count?
I made it to machine pitch. No, I'm talking about. I made it to machine pitch.
Nice.
And then I saw where in the last game, one of my teammates got hit in the stomach because he didn't know how to stand properly at the plate.
Damn.
Dude, can you imagine striking out on a machine pitch? You're like, coach, he's throwing curveball. He's like, no, you just have a concussion.
That reminds me, I was playing I was an outfielder, and I was just standing there, ready to grab the ball. Well, catch the ball, I should say. Mm-hmm. And the ball's coming straight for me, and I have my glove at the right angle where it slid out and smacked me in the knee so hard that I couldn't walk. So I was dragging myself with my arms trying to get the ball, and that we got second place.
Yeah,
but
nice. I know a guy who he was in the outfield. He was playing center field. It was midday. He lost the ball in the sun, and it hit him in the eye.
Oh,
damn.
Yeah, they always say watch the ball, but what happens whenever the ball watches you?
In Badavasha. You don't watch the ball. The ball watches you.
Yeah, isn't baseball one of the highest injury sports
there
is?
I'm pretty sure. Wouldn't it be football?
No.
Well, no, that ball, they'll hit it. It'll hit the crowd. It'll hit players.
Yeah.
If it goes out of the park, God only knows what it's hitting. Like,
it's gone at that
And
point.
like those baseballs aren't soft, so
Yeah, that's an entirely different sport.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's
I'm kidding. They're basically the same.
Titus, you ever hit out of the park?
No, because I only played Little League. I stopped playing in like middle school.
Why is that?
The team that I was on
Because he
disbanded.
sucked.
Oh.
No, the team
Yeah.
literally disbanded. But I normally played shortstop. I played second base a little bit, but I also tried the outfield once.
Mm.
I not good in the outfield. They asked if I would catch, and I said no.
Yeah. I whenever I played baseball for a little bit, because I've played an array of sports, I was always a little bit, because I was in it was elementary and middle school. I played it for a little bit, and I would always be too scared to go in outfield, because at that point it's going terminal velocity. That ball is going. If it hits you, you're dead.
Yeah, pop flies are kind of scary. I'll give you that.
Yeah, my dad put me, the shortest kid on the team, out there where the ball is at high velocity.
To be fair, dude, you're pretty fast. I could see you. I could see you know like the guys in the major league that like run up the outfield wall to make the catch.
Yeah.
I could see you doing that.
I could see him
And,
one
like-
day doing that.
Dude, I know. I saw a Cubs player do that. I was like, oh my god, that's Drew.
Dude, Drew would run up the wall and do a backflip and then catch it between his toes or something like that, you know?
Wow.
Like between his 2 feet. You know what I'm saying?
Trey, what team did you play on?
It wasn't for school or anything. It was just with friends, or not with friends necessarily, but was just people around town.
Or are they like the Knights or
Was it a
Racers?
recreational league?
Dude, I was
sounds
so
good.
young at that point. I cannot remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mostly played upward basketball, so
Dude, I played a lot of upwards basketball. My
Dude.
favorite part about sports is the integration of the New Testament.
I didn't find that as enjoyable, not gonna lie, but you know.
What you're telling me, the parable of the woman at the well, doesn't relate to you making a basket?
No, it does
Dude,
not.
you're not wishing hard enough.
Dude, no, there's,
You just gotta splash it in.
you know,
Be a good Samaritan and get the assist.
you know how at practices you stopped and had like a small like prayer meeting in the middle of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once it was either me or Drew. It might have been Drew, but no. I think it was me. But yeah, it was me. I looked at the coach and I was like, "What's the point of this? We're a basketball team here to play basketball. I'd go to Sunday school if I wanted this." Like,
Because at that point, you didn't play the rest of the season.
it was yeah.
The one that I played at, every player had to have at least 5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which doesn't work because we had some teams. I don't know why this church didn't split it up that. Well, I don't know if it had this church once, but they had a huge youth group, and they just didn't split the teams up well. Like they had like 4 teams, and each team had like 15 dudes on it.
Jesus Christ.
And I was like, you couldn't break it up into a few more teams?
Is that the league we played in?
No, this was
Okay.
yeah.
Dude, that was supposed. What is it? That year I played with our homeschool group, which is the team me and Titus played on together. That I was 3rd or 4th highest scorer. I forget which.
Yeah.
But that year we were all supposed to have about 5 minutes on the court at a time as well. And there was literally one game. I was on the court for 20 seconds, made a 3, and then I was pulled off, and I didn't go back in.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one away game that they do.
Huh?
It was that one away game.
Yep. I was pissed, and like my little sister was in the hospital because she had some appendix problems going on.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, my mom was
Logan.
in a terrible state of stress, and I was like, well, hopefully she gets to see me play a good game of basketball. 20 seconds, I make a 3-pointer, not in the rest of the game.
Dude, that upset me, and I played the whole game.
I know. You and Caleb were both pissed.
I was like,
They started figuring out. They started figuring out what the appendix actually does, because a long time we had no idea what the appendix does. They thought because it's just a little sliver off the large intestine. But they think that what the appendix is just like a little pocket to where if your whole entire system just goes AWOL, like there's some virus that's just killing off every bacteria in your system, all the good bacteria just shoves itself into the appendix, stays there until like the white blood cells go deal with the virus, and once that's all neutralized, good bacteria comes back out.
Dude, it's a fallout bunker?
Yeah.
Bro, that's so dope. I was gonna make fun of the appendix, but never mind. That's dope as hell. I was gonna say appendix, more like a pin sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that entire thing was crazy. That little girl was almost as tough as me and Drew. Me and Drew have trained her well. She went through all that, and from what I understand, she went through it very well. You know, wasn't too much pain.
You're like, I wouldn't know. I was in a basketball game.
I was with my grandma. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? My name is Trey. I got a basketball game. I got a 3-point game. That vine applies to both of you.
God.
I was never the 3-pointer. I was one who, stay on the sidelines on the offense, and then they threw the ball to me. I'd run up and get the driving layup. You know what I mean?
So me and my friend Kylen, we coached an upwards team our junior year.
Dude, I wanted to come to one of those games just to watch.
And one of the practices, me and the other coach Kylen, we'd scrimmage our team. We had 6 kids on there. We'd scrimmage them. So one time I shot a 3, and the point guard goes, he turns to the other coach. He goes, "Since when could he shoot?" I almost cried, dude.
Get shit on, man.
But he had glasses, so I just went, "Since when could you see?"
You had to roast the kid to make yourself feel better.
He was like 11.
I know. God, you piece of shit.
I almost pointed out the acne. I almost did.
God. Dude, upward, other than the prayer breaks, it was kind of fun because, you had guaranteed playtime, and yeah, it was kind of fun. The only thing I found annoying about it was once you hit the point where they actually started keeping score, if you got 16 points ahead of the other team, you could not get any more points until the other team got points. Fucking hated that. It's like, no, show that I was at 97 points and they were at like 20. Just do it. They sucked. Like, me and Drew were always hardcore, so, we didn't take the everybody's a winner. We were straight up, no, we won. So, yeah.
So, we've been talking a lot about sports, right? And whenever I was a kid, I didn't really have a lot of friends, protective mother and everything. But the friends that I did meet, I either met through playing sports on the playground as a little kid, or through like Boy Scouts or something. Before I met all of you, which was through either Kylen, which was school, or Titus bringing me here to this hellscape,
which was school.
Yeah, that too.
Kylen, you hear this, man? You hear this, heathen Boy Scouts of America? I'm sorry. I'm a Royal Ranger.
I don't remember this song.
Royal Rangers are the bomb.
We're better than you. Not only can we survive in the woods, we have the power of God on our side.
God.
Titus, you hardly even go to the camps. Just saying.
Dude, I'm sorry. I have a life.
Ooh.
Hey.
I'm sorry I couldn't go to PAC.
Hey, you know what?
Believe it or not, I would have liked to, but unlike you, I can't afford to take a week off of work.
It was only 3 days, Titus. 3 days.
I'm sorry, then why were you gone for 2 weeks?
Because I had another camp.
Hey, Titus.
Yeah.
Speaking of you overreacting.
Hey, wait a second. I don't ever overreact.
The first time that we met was the funniest thing.
Dude, that's my worst teacher experience. Because he put me in a scenario where that could happen.
Because I made fun of him so hard, and I thought it was I have a really bad habit whenever I first meet people that I don't think I'm ever going to talk to again, or I'm going to either have to deal with for a long time, I will, first chance I get in the first interaction with them, may just like absolutely roast them in some way, but I think it's really funny. And Titus was on the receiving end of one of these moments.
Oh shit.
Titus, should I tell the story or do you want to?
Do it like one of those old married couples, you know, where you like take turns, sentence in, sentence out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah.
I can do that. I can start us off. So,
Actually, hold on. I'll start us off. I've got a good way to start it.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I've spent a year at VOTAC. We were in a class called multimedia. We focus on filmmaking, graphic design, web development, a lot of good stuff like that actually helps Sailbite in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done my first year. I've got my marks. I'm a tier 2. I'm ready to help the first years. I'm like, look, the second years when I was the first year, they helped me. I was like, yeah, we teased each other. That's just a good old razzle dazzle. Like, yeah, we kind of made fun of each other, but at the end of the day, we were all friends. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. It's like they're gonna be like, hey, how do I open a Word document? And I'll be like, oh, I'll show you how, buddy. And so they're like, hey, everyone, let's do the little name game. So we stand in a circle and say our names. They gotta come up with a cool like word to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a great learning experience. We learned about words and letters and colors. It was fantastic.
I got to make fun of people's names. That was pretty fun.
And so then afterwards, he's like, all right, everyone, I've assigned you with the person, so you get to talk to each other and do a little interview.
It was like learning from each other.
I get Trey.
Hey, yo, what's up?
And so we got to do a little interview.
Yeah.
And so
Titus, was it you or I that I interviewed you first, right? Or is it?
Yeah, you interviewed me first, and you're like, "What are your dreams and aspirations?" And I'm like, I don't know. I'd like to make movies and music." And you're like, "Your mom."
No, I didn't say that.
I wish you had.
So
that would have been so savage.
It carried on. And one of the questions came was like, what school do you go to? And he's like, oh, well, actually, I'm homeschooled. I'm like, oh, so your school is in your mom's basement. That's cool. And we carried on, and that's an actual thing that I said. And then
he said, and I want to point out, he's like, oh, so your school is in your basement? You looked me in the eyes and you turned back down to your notes. I was like, what the hell?
And then I smirked because we had a list of questions and we had to pick at least 5 to ask. So once I asked that question, I deliberately went for the next one that was about a school. And what year are you graduating? He said, oh, I'm actually graduating this year. I'm like, oh, so mom's letting you out of the basement this year. That's cool.
God damn.
And then the best part afterwards, he couldn't roast me on anything about me because I was completely normal. Like, my life is completely normal at that point.
Yeah, Trey's a basic bitch.
So then we had to stand up. We had to stand up in front of the entire class and share what our interviews. And the teacher, he was like, okay, who wants to go first? And I just raised my hand and looked at Titus.
And I was like, well, shit, now I have to go. I want to point out, normally, like, if anyone else had done this, like, for some reason, like, the first time I'd met Spencer, he'd done this, I would have been like, this is a pompous asshole. But you did this, and I was like, I'm intrigued.
It's how I say things. Just because people say that my tone is either really condescending or really charming. And so I think you thought it was
You've got a silver tongue.
Yeah. So we stood up, and I was like, I'm gonna go first, and the teacher's like, all right, go ahead, Trey. And I was like,
he was like, oh, you're taking initiative. Surely you'll be one of my favorites.
That changed. And so
when the Fire Nation attacked,
I was like a snake in a patch of sheep.
You were the Fire Nation.
so I read it off, and so everybody was looking a little bit hazy that morning because it was an early morning, and it got to the thing is like, so Titus here, he doesn't go to school. He's homebrewed. He's a homeschool.
Homebrewed.
Homebrewed.
Oh, I'm homebrewed. I'm 5e. I'm 5th edition D&D.
All right.
Ooh, I'm homebrewed.
Anyway,
Fun.
Fuck you, Trey.
And so I was reading, it's like, fun fact, Titus here is homeschooled, aka he still lives in his mom's basement. Everybody thought it was real funny, and Titus was just quiet.
I was gymming the camera. I was just making hard eye contact with Drake. I was just here. I was like,
since you all can't see, Titus turned on his webcam and just looked blank. And then
I just deadpanned it.
dude, you're just gonna have to take pictures of me, you flexing, and then that, and just add them to the video portion.
And so
no.
Then afterwards, we got to the part the year that he's graduating because I left it a little bit blank in between. Like I asked like favorite superhero, he said Spider-Man, whatnot.
Yeah, Spider-Man's the best.
He's cool, honestly. Spider-Man's cool, but
no, he's the best.
The one where he's graduating, and I had a big smile on my face. I was like, so Titus being homeschooled, he's graduating this year. Actually, funny enough, so. Thankfully, his mom's letting him out of the basement this year, and everybody thought it was real funny. And Titus still just deadpan. It was
dude. I'm not even kidding. I was crying a little bit.
I ruined your social life in that class.
You really didn't, though. Actually, you kind of did because everyone's like, easy target.
Yeah, no, all the respect that the first years had for Titus, because being a second, Titus had the tiniest bit of respect.
Here's the thing, that's how it always goes. You'd think the second years would rule as oppressors, but no. The first years are all. With my first year, we were always bullying the second years. Trey, I cannot wait for your comeuppance.
No, the thing is that I got a bunch of my friends from my school to go into multimedia instead of graphic design, just so I'll have less of a chance of getting bullied.
Dude.
Wow.
So many people in there are going to take some L's.
But the little smidgen of respect that Titus had, because he's a tall, scrawny dude with dyed hair. Not a lot of
But that was really funny, too.
You were funny. Not a lot of respect. But then I said
I was the class clown, quite literally.
Everybody's like, funny. Let's make fun of him. And Titus was made fun of for the rest of the year.
But to be fair, so did Drake, and then you also got some by the end of it.
Well, no, I got some by the start of it because I was at a point.
Oh, yeah, you accidentally outed yourself as a JoJo's fan.
No, wait, no.
Yeah, I bet you got picked on for that.
Cut out. Logan, later on, whenever you're editing this, cut out the bit of me being a JoJo's fan. I am not.
Trey is a
do
JoJo's
not.
fan.
I'm not a JoJo's fan. I'm not being outed this quickly.
He introduced me to JoJo.
No. I'm not being outed this quickly.
You are being outed, my friend.
Yeah.
So, dude.
He knows everything about JoJo.
No, I don't.
It's so lame, dude. Honestly.
No,
it's pretty freaking lame.
So anyways, now that I've shared my story, me and Titus shared our stories of meeting each other. Me and Kylen, it was 5th grade, I believe. We met each other.
Eye contact across the playground.
It quite literally, we met on the playground from mutual friends. But
it was love at first sight.
But me and Kylen.
You're cheating on me?
No, wait, stop.
I'm sorry, I forget we're running a train after this.
You guys forget that Sailbite is an entire train of sex that I'm not involved in, and I'm the only one not fucking
Logan's trying to
in.
distance himself from the train. But here's the thing. There's always got to be a caboose.
Me and Titus are trying to be conductors, but we can't stop looking at each other. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm the guy that when you guys are looking at each other, I take the wheel.
Well, that's not... Here's the thing. You're the conductor, Trey. But I'm the switch that changes the tracks.
But me and Kylen, we weren't really good friends until what was it? It was somewhere in high school. We were never
Was it the cafeteria?
I think it was freshman year.
It was freshman year, yeah. Whenever we were actually starting to be good friends, and then we had a dip in sophomore year, but then junior year we started hanging out again.
Yeah.
And Logan, me and Logan, we that was an interesting thing because
dude, we met you under stressed conditions, like
yeah,
and it wasn't even your fault. Was the funny part.
Thanks, Titus.
Anyway, but yeah.
You guys, we went over this last week, didn't we? No. All right, I'm gonna clarify it. You guys tell that story wrong. I gave Trey my address a week early, so he had it because I have ADHD, and I knew I was gonna forget to give it to him on the right week. I was like, hey, I'll be at work this Friday, so if you show up, you might not know anyone because Kylen might not be there. It's 50-50 with him.
Yeah.
I was like, here's my address a week in advance, so you'll have it by the time that you need to be there rolls around. You're like, got it, I'll show up while you're out.
Just to clarify.
You made a joke about it. You made a joke about showing up while I was at work, and then you did. I got home from work, I'm like, why is Trey in my dining room?
We should clarify what we are meeting for. So, Trey was going to join our D&D group.
Mm-hmm.
And it had been known that he was going to join. We all thought we had an extra week because Titus told us we had an extra week.
And we were supposed to.
Yeah. And so we're sitting here going about our business. I left with another friend and we went to go pick up some pizza because,
Yeah.
And I get back.
You can say Bennett's
and
name.
there's this random guy named Trey sitting in my chair. I had my own seat stolen by another Trey, and so I was like, what the fuck?
Dude, honestly, that's fate.
I look at Asa, and I see Asa trying to hold it together, but you can tell he's slightly pissed off. Like, if you knew Asa, like, you could tell, like, he was hiding it, but he wasn't necessarily thrilled, because none of us knew who Trey was. He was just a guy that showed up. Like,
everybody's real friendly.
Yeah.
I forget, was Kylen there?
Yeah.
No, he was not.
Totally. I thought he was.
He totally was.
Nope.
I remember Logan.
Kylen, you're a bad friend.
Logan, you can't pretend that you don't like me because one of your first sentences, it was like the 5th sentence in. You're like, I really like this guy. I'm like, yay.
Well, you see, I used to be super introverted, but then I hung out with Titus a lot, and I watched that man reach across an escalator for a high five from some dude we'd never even seen in our fucking lives. So
not even just one dude. There was a whole row of people. I was like, high five, high five, high five, high five, high five, high five, high five.
Yeah. So like, at first I was super introverted, and then I just started talking to people, and then I just hit a stride of just arrogance. And so I became really confident in my ability to talk to people. And so I just got real good with people. I can smooth my way out of most every situation. Like, it's hot. So, I meet new people. I'm down to talk.
Huh.
So, and you seemed like an intelligible guy.
You're
You were supposedly a friend of Titus's, I thought it was all good and chill. But
and Kylen.
I didn't know anything was off until I looked at Asa. And then later talking with Asa went on a small fucking rant. Like, he wasn't like, he was kind of pissed off, but not like super pissed off. That made sense because Titus had fucking work. It was like his first day of work. And just invite some random dude that we don't even know to our fucking house when we have guests and other people coming over that we've never even met this fucking guy. Like, what the fuck, Titus? Like,
and here's the thing. Like I said, it wasn't my fault.
Yeah. So it was all cool in the end, but...
Dude, I'm the A-team.
Like, at the beginning there, it was a little... I chilled out. I was trying to be a chill guy. Like, hey, who the fuck are you? We've got a namesake, so, I mean... Obviously, we're meant to be good friends.
And to this day, Asa still doesn't like me.
Honestly, that's not even true. I think...
Dude,
I think you
funniest
might be
shit-
his favorite.
Were you there for this, Titus, when Drew dropped this bomb? But Andrew
Yeah, I was
did not
there.
like Asa for the longest time. Funniest shit was we've been friends with I've been friends with Titus and Asa for a long time. Like, how long have we been friends? Like 4 or
6th,
5 years,
7th
something like
grade.
that. Oh, 6, 7?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I
Holy
know
shit.
because I
Titus,
started
that's 6 or 7 years. Damn.
yeah, we started doing a cappella in 8th grade, and
Yeah.
then we'd hung out around co-op in the 6th and 7th grade. But we
Yeah.
didn't become like
Shit.
good friends until
Yeah, until
we were
acapella.
we were friends 8th grade year, but we became good friends when we started the band my freshman year.
Yeah. So yeah, we'd been decent, we'd been really good friends for 5 years up to that point.
Yeah, I'd say about 5
We
years now.
started
Yeah.
D&D a year and a half ago, something like
Yeah.
that. Drew did not like Asa till shortly after D&D started. I don't know
Wow.
why, but according to Drew, he just did not like fucking Asa. He just didn't like him. And then once we started playing D&D, he was like, you know what? This is a cool guy.
And
So that's
the
5
funniest
years
part-
of us hanging out all the time, and him just not liking
Wait,
Asa.
but him and Ace were always trying to cause chaos during band
I
practice.
know.
And me and you were like, hey, let's write a song. They're like, no, let's go to Taco Bell.
I will admit, Taco
And that
Bell
was
was
every band practice.
We did, yeah, we had a band tradition. We hit up Taco Bell after every single fucking band practice. It was badass.
The funniest part is that they've been playing D&D for over a year now. Just one campaign over a year now. And I joined I've only joined a couple months ago, and I'm already more
Not a couple,
experienced
dude.
than
You joined in
most
November.
I'm already more experienced than most of the people in the group.
No, knowledgeable, not experienced, knowledgeable.
Uh-huh. You sure?
Technically, knowledge is experience.
Dude,
Ooh.
Titus, me and you met, man, we met in interesting points in our lives. I don't know what the hell you're going through, but still more introverted, so
Dude, I'm surprised you like talking to me because you knew me during my scene phase. There's this band called Set It Off. Dude, I was obsessed with them. I'd sit in my room on my iPod with earbuds and they're like, oh my god, I want Cody Carson's Babies. Dude, I was obsessed. I was like, honestly, it was kind of cringy, but also it's a part of a lot of those bands that I used to be way too into are a part of what made me pick up instruments in the first place. So I have a soft spot for those bands. I went back and listened to a couple of them, like this band Get Scared and Set It Off. I went back and listened to this the other day. They're kind of garbo. I remember them being really good. They're not.
I talked with you a couple times, throughout the years. We didn't we'd known each other, but not actually been, actually talked at all for several years. And so one day me and Titus weren't actually in high school, but we were both taking this high school class. And
oh my god, dude,
that was a class that, it was an amped up class. Even the seniors were having a hard time in that class. So me and Titus are in the middle of a fucking pan fire. And so we had a test that day. And I'm sitting here, I brought my book and I'm studying. Asa and Titus are also sitting across the room. And I look over and they're just screwing around. I'm like, what the fuck? We got a test today, boys. What are you doing? And so I was like, I should probably ask. I'm gonna do it. I was like, hey, you guys know we have a test today. And Ace's face went pale, and you're like, oh no. And you're like, oh, thanks, man. And so you went to look for your book, and you both had forgotten to grab the book. And you guys shared a book, didn't you?
Yeah, we shared one book. And so let's tell the viewers about it just a little bit. It was a Lord of the Rings literature class.
Doesn't sound difficult.
It doesn't sound hard. But dude, holy shit.
Even the teacher was like, and I'm never doing that again.
Yeah, it was a rough class. It was a hard class.
It was intense. As I said, even the seniors, and there were some really smart seniors in that class year, had a hard time with it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it was nuts.
And me and Logan
somehow
were
I
doing it
found-
as 8th graders.
Yeah. No, I was a 7th grader. I
You
skipped
were a
a
7th
year
grader?
at some
Oh,
point.
I forgot.
Yeah, I skipped a year at some point. But yeah. So it was nuts. I came to find out several years later, the teacher was like, no, you were making some of the best grades in that class. And I was like, holy shit.
Dude,
Were
I
you
was
good?
not. I was.
Yeah.
Dude, here's the thing. C's get degrees. I was
Yeah.
scraping by. I was Kylen in the outfield in that class.
Well, yeah, my mother had high standards. So, like, if I made below a B, she made me retake the entire fucking class.
Yeah.
So, like, I passed Spanish with an 81, and I was sweating so hard. One of the guys there, you know, with his, like, C minus was like, why are you sweating, man? I'm like, I just dodged, like, 4 bullets, my dude.
Dude, you know what's crazy? I know exactly who that was that said that. Just from the
Yes.
way you phrased that, I know exactly who that was.
Yeah. So, anywho, but yeah, so that day, like, neither of them had their books, and I was like, well, fuck, that sucks for you guys. This class is living hell. Then I was
Yeah.
like, should I share my book? I've never done this before. Like, that'd be weird. I mean, they're just 2 dudes who forgot their books, so I mean, they probably need to study. They're gonna get
Yeah, we
fucked
did,
on this
dude.
test.
I remember that test.
Yeah. So I was
I
like,
got a
you know what?
C-.
I'll ask. And I was like, hey, you guys want to borrow my book and study with me because I forgot to study till now. And Asa was like, yes, please. Like, Asa was sitting there, man. He was a vampire for a second, like, because Asa just likes being smart. So yeah.
Ace's
I went over. I shared my books.
He's a smart boy.
Ace's intelligence doesn't necessarily come from him knowing things. Because whenever you speak, how intelligent you sound is all dependent on how you word things. And Asa is really smart in the way that he words things. Because if he doesn't know something, or like if he kind of knows it, he'll give a general guess and act like he knows it. But if somebody's like, oh no, it's actually this, he's like, oh, okay, thank you for correcting me.
I can kind of do that, but Asa makes me look like I just can't even do that. Like, Asa's really good at that.
Asa is the master of pretty talk.
Yeah. So, like, we started studying together, and I didn't know why, but, Titus, I come to find out later he was HD while we were studying, so he's just kind of sitting there, and, like, as we're studying, he's still doing crap, like, hey, you got stormtroopers on your thing, and I got this stick, and, like, started poking. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, man? I'm trying to study. You're still
That's not
around.
even an exaggeration. So, the teacher, she had a thing where she could not stand people tapping pins, clicking pins, or like drumming on the desk. I had to sit on my hands.
Yeah, who's that guy? So before the class, he was just a mess. Like, his hands were all over the place. Like,
Dude.
I'm sitting here like, why the fuck are you touching me? This is the first time we've actually talked, and you're like already touching me. I don't think you realized you were actually touching me. It wasn't like, weird touching. It was kind of like, shoulder, like tapping the back of my chair, just going nuts. And I'm sitting here like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then, class starts. I made like a B+ in that test or something. Asa managed to pull a good grade out of it. I think he scored higher than I did. And I was like, yeah, you guys are all right. I said it exactly like that. And then I think
he really did. And we started eating lunch together.
Yeah, we ate lunch together occasionally. And then I was in another class with Titus and his bestie, Caleb. We've mentioned him once or twice now. And, Titus in the other class seemed very awkward. His ADHD was showing. He was a mess. Then, of course, we get in this other class.
Dude, when I'm with Caleb,
he's an entirely different person. He's with his bestie. Like, there's chilling around. And it was actually a class dedicated to our homeschool co-ops. They had a yearbook, and so we were a yearbook class. Like, we did some like small graphic design stuff.
Yeah.
And so I was like, hey, I'll do the graphic design stuff. And everyone else, I kid you, there was like 26 people or something in that class. It was a massive class. 90% of that class wanted to be picture takers. Like, wanted to take cameras and just go around and take pictures, because that was one of the jobs.
Yeah.
And what we needed was more like people actually doing the graphic design and whatnot. And it was me, Titus, and this boy named Caleb. So
Yeah.
like, it was mostly us just sitting in the classroom. Me and Titus have talked once or twice. So like, I'm not like fond of Titus, but I know him. And then Caleb, being the big guy he is, just hi, I'm Caleb. We're friends now.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, really? And he's like, yes. And I was like, oh, like really? And like, he wasn't even. I'm not even kidding. He literally said that to me like week 2.
Yeah.
And so from there, I was like, I guess I am friends with this guy. So I started hanging out with him a little bit, and Titus was there.
That kind of reminds me of the time whenever I was. We went to Titus's work. He works in a grocery store, and we went to where he works to go pick up some snacks for later that night. We were on a 5-way, and we were walking around, and Titus was like, going at it, and he was like, he made a joke about me like activating him, and I realized that I activate Titus in the worst way possible whenever I hang out with him.
Yeah.
Like Titus usually isn't that mean of a person, but whenever I'm hanging out with Titus, he says that I just passively egg him on without even realizing.
Yeah, here's the thing. So
You're kind of like that dad that's like, you're gonna be an asshole, right? Like you give someone a look, and it's like, why aren't you being an asshole?
Yeah. So I just go off of energies. Like if someone wants to be laid back, I'm laid back with that person.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm being fake. Like I don't change my entire personality, but I'm not gonna be like super loud in their face if they want to be more laid back.
You are like that now. Like when I first met you, no, you were.
Yeah. And now that's what I try and do. And so like Trey will be like, hey, we're on the attack. And I'm like, all right, we're on the attack.
No, like in class.
I'm like, storm the beaches.
Yeah, in class, the class that we were talking about earlier, where I absolutely roasted Titus. We talked.
Yeah, like I said, me and Drake needed a third.
Yeah, people poked fun at Titus. People would poke fun at me, but Titus words it as he never really reacted that strongly until I said something, and then he would go. Then he would launch the missiles.
When he was first going to Votech that year, he described you as an angry guy. Also, I have a question. Kylen, are you awake?
No, he's gone.
I think Kylen fell asleep on the podcast.
He muted him.
But
No, but Trey, you the thing is, it's like normally like if one of the girls on the back row, you know who I'm talking about, if she'd been like, hey, you're ugly, I'd be like, all right, cool, dude. But if you're like, you're ugly, I'd be like, okay, JoJo's fan. And then we had this back and forth.
If she called you ugly and you're like, okay, and I was like, that's not very nice, you'd be like, yeah, it isn't very nice. And you'd stand up and you'd go at it.
You know that John? So there's a John Mulaney bit where when he's flying with his wife, she'll be like, hey, they shouldn't talk to you that way. He's like, no, they shouldn't. That's what I'm like. When someone else is like, hey, they shouldn't do that thing to you, I'm like, you're right. Hey, don't do that thing to me. But once again, to quote John Mulaney, you could pour hot soup in my lap and I'd probably apologize to you.
But with that, we're going to end the. We're gonna end this episode there. Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you, Titus. Thank you, Logan, for being here.
Anytime, man.
If you liked what you saw, please do subscribe. If you're on YouTube, leave a like and ring that bell. If you're on SoundCloud, follow us, leave a like, whatnot.
Yeah.
We upload the podcast every Wednesday. We
upload Let's Plays on Thursdays and Fridays. It's dependent on the schedule. Mm-hmm. But if you like this video and you want to see more of us, we have 2 Crunker videos up. You should check those out. Those are very funny.
Yeah.
And then we've got other episodes of the podcast available.
Yeah. Also, we have a sponsor for this episode. Our website. Go check that out. Titus,
link in the description.
I fix a lot of his spelling mistakes because he's bad at spelling on there.
Damn.
Don't go look at the staff page. Nobody wants to see that.
Absolutely, dude. That took the longest because apparently these guys don't know how to upload a fucking photo of themselves.
Whoa. Mine was smooth as hell.
It was. You were the first one done.
Yeah, you said, "Hey, give me a bio," and I gave you a bio. You said,
Well,
"Hey,
you-
give me a
you
picture,"
did it in
and I
like
gave
20
you a
minutes.
fucking awesome picture.
Well,
You did. Everyone else, it took them at least a week.
Well,
Yeah.
Titus.
It's
Titus
not that hard.
and Logan. Not all of us have so much pride in our appearances that we just have a picture on hand.
Dude,
Oh,
don't even
really?
get me started.
Okay.
You
So, let me
follow my
tell you.
alt account on Twitter.
Okay, let me tell you. Arrogance isn't about actually being arrogant. It's about not giving a fuck.
Anyways,
So,
we're
being good
gonna
enough for yourself
Yeah.
and not giving a
Yeah.
fuck what anyone else thinks.
we're gonna
Anyway,
end there.
talk to you
Well,
later.
Yeah, see you all later. See you next Wednesday.
Bye.
Love you.